welcome back, or welcome to my channel. And today I wanted to talk about this new acronym, this new name for the LGBTQ community. So without further ado, let's get started. By the way, for anybody who's like, what makes you qualified to talk about this? Let me just show you. This? Yeah, that's what makes me qualified to talk about this, okay? That's what makes me qualified. So, yeah. So for anybody being like, what makes you qualified? Blah, 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 blah. Here's your fucking proof, babe. Here's your fucking proof. Anyways, as a member of the LGBTQ community, I thought I would give my personal opinion about this because I saw this going everywhere. Now, first of all, I want to say, originally I want to talk about this last weekend. Didn't happen. Clearly, my bed's not made. Clearly, my life is go, 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 go right now. So I'm filming when I can. I'm trying to keep my videos going, but things happen, guys. Things happen. But I'm ready here today to talk about this new acronym that I highly disagree with. First of all, I'm very for the original acronym. You will never catch me say 2SLGB. No. You will always catch me say the LGBTQ plus community. And a lot of the times I will just say the rainbow community because it's easier. It just is. But if I'm going to use one of the acronyms, I'm going to say the LGBTQ community, right? Sometimes I even forget to say the plus when I talk about it, which is fine because we all get what I'm talking about, okay? The L, I full-heartedly believe that the L should always be at the forefront because of history with the community. The lesbians are, they are the plateau of the community. They are the foundation of the community. So the reason that I'm very for keeping the L at the front and just keeping it the way that it is anyways, that's the way. One, I mean, obviously I have some biases that I grew up with it. I'm a lesbian myself, right? I guess growing up with it isn't really a bias, but it does make me more prone to wanting to keep that one. But also, the bias in the sense that I'm a lesbian, of course, in a way, it makes it look like I have a bias and we, have to keep it that way. And it's not because I'm a lesbian, it's because it's a tribute to the lesbian women who helped and supported the gay men during the earlier days of the community when people were being activists for it during the AIDS epidemic. Guess who was at the side of gay men? Us. Yeah, the lesbians. The lesbians were at the side of gay men. The lesbians were at the forefront, is basically what I'm saying. They were, and because their activism, the L was put to the front because originally it was the G, it was the J or G. Guys, English is not my first language, and I do struggle a little bit with the alphabet, okay? But gay was at the front, which is, it's rooted in sexism, very obviously. And originally it was, homosexuality has always been concentrated on gay men, for being honest. People have never really, they more fetishize lesbians. They don't really, it's more fetishized than anything else. People don't really care about it as much. And people care more about gay men, which is why gay men were at the front originally. But then they moved the L because of the 1980s when the AIDS epidemic happened. And guess who was on the sides of gay men? Who was at their bedside when they were dying of AIDS? The lesbians. Guess who fought for gay men? Lesbians. The lesbians did. And so, to say, I absolutely believe lesbians should always be at the forefront of the acronym of the community. So yeah, anyways, that was a whole side rant, but basically I wanted to structure what my beliefs are to begin with before I enter to this acronym, so you guys can understand where I'm coming from, why I disagree with the acronym, and you guys can understand a bit better what my thoughts are, why my thoughts are that way, which now you know why. And now we're gonna get into the acronym. So a federal NPD MP, Leah Gazan, sorry if I mispronounced her last name, she, during a political discussion, she used this really fucking long acronym. Okay, you're not ready for this. MMI-WJ2SLJBTQQIA+. That is a mouthful. What in the actual fuck is this? Like, who went, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great acronym. Yeah, people are gonna love to stand for that. Who thought of this idea? Who went, this is a good idea? I'd love to know. I'd love to know what was their fucking thought process. Where was it? Where was even a thought process? Was there even a thought process? I don't think so. That's such a long name. But we're going to get into what it means. Because this is just, wow. Okay, so this is what it stands for, okay? Missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, and more. Holy shit. What the fuck? So we're gonna dissect this, okay? So, missing and murdered Indigenous women. What does that have to do with sexuality? I'm actually questioning. Is that like an attraction? Can I say I identify as a missing and murdered Indigenous woman? Guys, I now identify as a missing and murdered Indigenous woman. That's what am I identifying as? I don't know. Last time I checked, if someone is missing and they're an Indigenous woman, they're not a part of the LGBTQ community. I don't understand what that has to do with anything that the community is for. The community is for people who are attracted to the same gender or questioning or their gender. They're not like, there's something to do with like something to do with or something to do with their gender, but this I don't even know where to get started. Like, what does that have to do with the community? I don't get it. Like, missing and murdered Indigenous women, you're literally making this community mean literally nothing. Adding that into the community makes it mean nothing. Oh, and it's women and girls, by the way. So, if you guys are wondering why I'm not really talking about that, it's because it's the same thing. It's just one are women, the other one are girls. Like, I'm not saying that's not an important topic, right? It's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be insensitive or whatever, like, right? Because of, the hatred that it's still going on about Indigenous people in general. Like, for example, me, I don't know my culture because my grandmother was too scared to, and not scared, but she was too embarrassed of her culture, so she never passed it down to my dad, and my dad never passed it down to me because he never had to pass it down to himself and to him, and he, because of how Canada treated her and her father, and I've never really heard much about her mom, but I know her mom was also Indigenous, so I guess her mom too, she never wanted to share a culture, right? So it's the fault of those people. So it is important to talk about these kinds of things, but what does that have to do with the LGBTQ community? The LGBTQ community has nothing, quite literally nothing to do with, like, with people being, or people's race. It has nothing to do with your race, and it has nothing to do with people. So why are we doing this? Why did we add that to a community that it has nothing to do with it? It's like if straight people added themselves to the community. What do you have to do with the community? The community originally was created to be able to fight for the rights of people like me to be able to marry who they love or to be who they want to be. Not, and even when it comes to gender, even there you could question it a bit, because the LGBTQ community was originally more so created for sexuality, but I will accept it. I will accept it because it kind of goes together, right? It's about loving yourself and whatever, but what does missing and Indigenous women have to do with loving yourself? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Why is it in here? Take it out. And then Two-Spirit. I don't know how I feel about Two-Spirit. Even from the moment they added it in, first of all, this is the first acronym that they add where, the first acronym I was aware of, the 2S LGBTQIA community, that was the first acronym I had heard of that was different than the LGBTQ+. And it's the first one that I'm aware of that immediately put itself in front of lesbians, because fuck the lesbians, am I right? And I don't quite get why Two-Spirit is in there. I'm not trying, and by the way, this is not me trying to be like hateful or anything. I'm trying to understand, right? I'm not going to try to understand missing Indigenous women and girls. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with our community. Two-Spirit, kind of, I guess, but I feel like that's more of a cultural thing. So to me, I don't get why you would add that in the community, because being gay is not cultural. Being transgender is not cultural, but Two-Spirit is cultural. It is cultural to Indigenous people. I think it'd be decent for someone who wasn't Indigenous to identify as Two-Spirit, I think. Maybe I'm not educated enough on Two-Spirit. I don't know. Nonetheless, why is that not just in the plus? Why do we need to elongate the acronym? The acronym was great with the plus. It was great there. It was fine. It was doing great. The plus was serving what it needed to serve, and it was not serving for the missing and Indigenous women and girls. And I'm sorry, I will keep bringing that up because I don't understand what that is doing in an acronym about sexual identity. So, I don't know. And then we have lesbians, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, great, love it, fine. Questioning. Why are people who are questioning in the community now? What are they doing in the community? Great, we will welcome you if you decide, or I guess figure out that you are part of our community, but you are not a part of the community until you are. You're just questioning. When I was questioning my identity, like prior to bisexual, because if you guys don't know, I was bisexual before I was lesbian, I was was not a part of the community. I didn't go, hey guys, I'm part of the LGBTQ community now because I'm questioning. Like, no. Because I was not a part of the community. Because you could question and then just end up being straight. So you're a part of the community, then you're not? What's going on? I don't know why questioning people are in there. I don't know. Intersex. I weigh on this. This one, I'm like, I don't know. Now hear me out. I don't know. I feel like intersex people, it's like, it's different because it has nothing to do with how they identify. Not saying that they don't have an identity or whatever. I'm saying like, it's just, they were born a different way at birth. And it's, I mean, I guess gay people are also born differently at birth because newer science new science research is starting to, some scientists are starting to think that gay people are gay because of a gene that isn't, I guess, right. I'm doing air quotes because obviously doesn't make being gay wrong, obviously, but it's a gene that is different, right, than what a straight person, one of their genes would be. I don't know which gene it is or what, because I'm not, I don't do science, but something like that. And I don't know. And then again, we have LGBTQ+. We have the plus, so, I mean, it's fine when it's in the plus. And then asexual was also in the plus. I don't know why we needed to bring it out of the plus. Because then what's the point of the plus? At this point, might as well just do LGBTQIA SPWZ XABCDEFG HIJK 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 6 7. I don't know, someone probably identifies as 6'7" at this point. What are we doing? Like, genuinely, are we this bored that this is what we're doing now? Like, is the LGBT community just a joke to people now? I honestly am ashamed to be a part of this community. Like, genuinely ashamed. What the fuck? Again, the original meaning of putting a name onto this community was to fight for the rights. This is not fighting for anyone's rights. And it's not like, and again, fighting rights is a very loose term, because then I guess you could add missing Indigenous women, then you could add Black people, and then you could add like Asian people, and like start making it about race. And like, you could make it about anything at that point. So I guess I'd have to like say more so it was for the rights of people's sexualities to begin with. Then we let people who had gender identities in as well, but I think that's as far as it should go. Sexual and gender identity, that's it. We don't need any more people in the community. It does not make sense that missing and Indigenous women are a part of this community about gender, your gender identity, and your sexual identity. What does that have to do with gay marriage? What does that have to do with gender affirming care? Literally nothing. It has to do with getting, I'm pretty sure the point that like what she wanted for adding that to the name was, I'm pretty sure it was just to like bring more, to bring justice to these women, which, great, sure, bring justice to missing and Indigenous women and girls. Love it. but don't add it to the community. Don't, because it has nothing to do with the community. I probably said a lot of stuff that pissed off people in today's video, and I don't apologize for that. I really don't. These are my opinions. Does it really matter at the end of the day? No, it's not that deep. I just wanted to give my opinion about why I'm so embarrassed to be a part of this community right now. It's, quite frankly, really embarrassing. But here we are. I'm part of this community. There's not much I can do about it, because that's who I am. All I can do is voice my opinions, and that's all I can do, and that's what I'm doing. I'm voicing my opinion about the name. I just saw that and I thought it was crazy, and I was like, I have to make a video. I've never really talked about my thoughts on the acronym of 2S LGBTQIA+. Like, I never talked about that. But then when they added Indigenous and women, girls there, and missing whatever there, I was like, I have to talk about it, because I was seeing people talk about it, and I was like, what is going on? I am never going to refer to the community as that. I'm always going to refer to it as LGBTQ+. You're never going to change my mind. Because as the time is going, I am distancing myself more and more from the ideologies of the left.
I'm not moving, so you can enjoy this angle. But I'm gonna stop myself like right there. So I don't think I explained it very well. Like, I didn't put my thoughts out very well for this part here. So I'm just gonna try to process my thoughts to you guys. I'm distancing myself from the far left. Okay, so you got your far left, you got your far right, then you got the middle, right? I'm distancing myself from the far left. I would never be right. I'm never going to be right wing. You're never going to catch me there. But you're also never going to catch me again on the far left. Since my frontal lobe has been developing, I've been distancing myself more and more from the far left and realizing they're kind of crazy. Just like the far right. They're kind of crazy. And never again. Yeah. I don't remember if there was a point to me saying that. But that's what I was trying to say.
What the fuck was that? What does that mean? What's been here? Oh. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah. What was I talking about before we got a bam? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess there's like a far right and there's a far left, and I'm not a part of any of those, because I think I do believe I was far left a few years ago when I didn't understand any of this because I was a child. And now as I'm growing older and my frontal lobe is developing, I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on in this world? What is going on? I don't know. We're all going crazy. But yeah, I'm just, no, what is going on? We've lost the plot, guys. We've literally lost the plot. Anyways, that's my opinion.
I said, I don't think that he's good for you. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
You can write your opinion down below, but guys, all be nice to each other in the comments. If you decide to read the comments and people are leaving their opinions, if anybody really watches this video, which I doubt, but if anybody does, and people do decide to start leaving their opinions down below, please be nice to each other. Because in the world that we are living in today, we need to be nice to each other. I mean, I gave my opinion about this, and I hope I wasn't mean to anybody, because that wasn't the point. My point was just to give out my opinion of why I believe it, what the acronym should be and whatever. It wasn't to be mean. So now if I was mean, I do apologize. But yes, if you're going to leave your opinion in the comments, please be nice to each other. Don't leave hateful things, but leave your opinion. And it's okay if your opinion completely goes against my opinion. That's fine. I'd love to hear it either way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!